An over-the-top, adrenaline-fueled action flick, the 2008 film Wanted manages to be an incredibly enjoyable ride despite its occasionally cheesy elements. It's the quintessential popcorn movie delivering a compelling story, stunning visuals, and a fresh, stylized approach to action choreography that feels innovative and exciting. With a talented ensemble cast, the film is elevated by strong performances. This is the kind of movie you can sit back, turn your brain off, and simply enjoy for the wild, fun, and visually spectacular cinematic experience it is. In this video, we're diving deep into the high-octane, bullet-curving world of Wanted. While this film is remembered for its incredible stunts and stylized violence, there's so much more to it than meets the eye. So join along as we explore together all the hidden secrets, fascinating casting choices, and blink and you'll miss it Easter eggs. We'll also pull back the curtain on some of the most mind-blowing behind-the-scenes details. So grab your popcorn and let's get into it. Originally deemed not leading man material, James McAvoy was initially passed over for the lead role in the movie in favor of a more conventional hyper-macho action lead. However, the producers later reconsidered, deciding the character of Wesley Gibson needed to be less of a hero and more of an underdog, the runt of the litter. This shift in perspective led them back to McAvoy, who ultimately landed the role. To prepare for the intense action sequences, he trained extensively to bulk up his physique and suffered several injuries during filming, including a twisted ankle and a knee injury, showcasing his commitment to the physically demanding role. The film is a loose adaptation of the graphic novel of the same name by Mark Millar, which takes a far darker and more subversive approach to the story. The comic book is set in a world where a secret society of supervillains known as the Fraternity has successfully defeated and killed all the superheroes, then used their advanced technology to erase any memory of them from the public's mind. The graphic novel is a bleak and cynical tale where the protagonist, Wesley Gibson, inherits a legacy of pure villainy and gleefully embraces a life of murder, rape, and chaos. It also included a cast of grotesquely named characters such as Shithead, a sentient monster made of the combined feces of 666 of the world's most evil people, including Hitler. The movie, on the other hand, softened this premise significantly, transforming the villain-led Fraternity into a group of heroic assassins who kill based on the orders of a loom of fate. This change eliminated the graphic novel's fantasy elements, shocking violence, and moral nihilism, replacing them with a more straightforward action thriller narrative. Interestingly, the characters' appearances were intentionally based on real-life celebrities. Millar designed the protagonist, Wesley Gibson, to look like rapper Eminem, even giving him a similar scrawny physique and disgruntled demeanor. This was a deliberate choice, as Millar hoped to entice Eminem to play the role in a potential film adaptation. Similarly, the character of Fox was drawn to resemble actress Halle Berry, who at the time was well known for her role as Catwoman. This comic book-style fantasy casting was a fun detail for readers, though neither star ultimately took on the roles in the movie adaptation. During the production in Chicago, the cast and crew were filming in close proximity to another major Hollywood production, Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight. This was particularly notable because Morgan Freeman had roles in both films and would shuttle between the two sets. The close proximity of the productions led to a humorous incident involving Wanted comic book creator Mark Millar. A fan of Batman, Millar couldn't resist the opportunity to get a look at the highly anticipated Batpod motorcycle from The Dark Knight. He attempted to sneak onto the neighboring set, but was caught in the act and promptly escorted away by security, with the incident being witnessed by producer Lauren Schuler Donner, who also visited the set. A sequel to Wanted has been a topic of discussion since the film's release, but it has been in a state of developmental limbo for over a decade. Director Timur Bekmambetov has consistently expressed interest in returning, but creative differences have been a major obstacle. While a script was written by the original screenwriters, Michael Brandt and Derek Haas, Bekmambetov had a different vision, reportedly wanting to incorporate his screen life technology, where the fraternity operates in the digital realm, using blockchain, big data, and the dark web to carry out assassinations. This concept, along with the departure of key cast members, has stalled the project. Despite these hurdles, and even with the comic book's creator Mark Millar not willing to write a sequel, the original screenwriters and star James McAvoy have expressed continued interest, keeping the possibility of a sequel alive. Before Angelina Jolie was cast as the enigmatic assassin Fox, several other prominent actresses were considered for the role. Among them were Halle Berry, Jessica Biel, and Jada Pinkett Smith. Halle Berry was a strong contender due to her resemblance to the character in the original comic book. The role ultimately went to Angelina Jolie, and director Timur Bekmambetov noted that he envisioned a character that combined the fragility of Audrey Hepburn with the physicality of Clint Eastwood, whom Jolie said that she based her character, Fox, on. While the other actresses were all well known for their action roles, producers ultimately believed Jolie was the best fit for the role. During her preparation, Jolie decided to embrace her character's gritty persona by adding temporary tattoos instead of covering up her existing collection. She had 13 known tattoos at the time, which would typically need to be concealed for a film role. However, for Wanted, the production team opted to work with her real tattoos and add more to them, which Jolie said was a welcome change. She revealed that two of the most significant temporary tattoos were a tribute to Second World War Prime Minister Sir Winston Churchill. On her upper arms, she had the words "toil" and "tears" written in Gothic script, taken from his famous 1940 speech where he said, "We have nothing to offer but blood, toil, tears, and sweat." These tattoos were chosen to reflect her character's sense of justice and commitment. She also added strength of will in multiple languages to her arm. This creative decision not only added to the character's unique look, but also showed Jolie's dedication to embodying the role fully. In one scene, Morgan Freeman's character, Sloane, reveals the secret of the Loom of Fate, an ancient device that supposedly weaves the names of people destined to die into its fabric. He explains that the seemingly random broken threads and missed stitches are not mistakes, but a coded message. This code is actually based on a real-world system used in computers and data processing, known as ASCII, which stands for American Standard Code for Information Interchange. Sloane demonstrates how to read the patterns as binary code, where each sequence of zeros and ones corresponds to a letter. For example, in the ASCII system, the capital letter A has a value of 65, which is represented in an 8-bit binary number system as 01000001, and then B is 66, C is 67, and so on. This clever detail lends a veneer of scientific logic to the film's fantastical plot device, suggesting that the loom is a form of early, mechanical supercomputer. The film contains a few subtle visual clues that foreshadow the plot, along with a nod to its international production. For instance, early in the film, when Wesley walks outside of his apartment and looks up to see Cross's house, a poster on a telephone pole next to Cross's apartment building features the words "Your father's son," hinting at the pivotal twist that Cross is Wesley's real father. This is a deliberate piece of foreshadowing, preparing the audience for the eventual reveal. Also near the end of the movie, Wesley drives a garbage truck backward into the building's front doors. This action not only destroys the doors, but also causes the large metal letters of the textile factory sign to fall and scatter on the ground. As the rats from the truck's contents scurry away, the letters are seen to have fallen in a way that perfectly spells out the word fate. This clever detail serves as a powerful visual representation of the film's core theme, as Wesley's actions, initially driven by revenge, ultimately fulfill a new destiny of his own making, separate from the one dictated by the fraternity. Another detail appears in the office at the end of the film, where a nameplate is visible on one of the cubicle walls. The nameplate reads J.G. Miller, which is a composite of writer Mark Miller and artist J.G. Jones, on whose comic the film is based. Finally, during the train scene, a man on a poster next to Cross's shoulder is identified as the former president of the Czech Republic, Václav Klaus, which is also a small nod to the country where the movie was filmed. Angelina Jolie insisted that her character, Fox, should be killed off at the end of the movie. She argued that given the film's climactic revelation that the fraternity of assassins had been killing people unjustly and not based on a higher loom of fate, her character would not be able to live with the guilt. Jolie believed that Fox, being a true believer in the fraternity's moral code, would find it a point of honor to take her own life rather than continue to live with the knowledge of her unjust actions. This decision also conveniently provided a definitive ending for her character, making it unlikely she would be expected to return for any potential sequels. In the movie, one of the victims killed by Cross is identified by the gunsmith as Rictus. This is a significant nod to the original graphic novel, where the character of Mr. Rictus is the main antagonist, a disfigured, psychopathic supervillain who runs a rival faction of the fraternity. He is portrayed as so utterly depraved that he even disgusts other villains, engaging in horrific acts like cannibalism and child murder. The headquarters of the fraternity in the film, the large textile factory located in Chicago, is more than just a place of business. It's a symbolic replica. The building's layout and design are a perfect match to the original birthplace of the fraternity, an ancient monastery located in the region of Eastern Moravia in the Czech Republic. This architectural detail is a subtle nod to the organization's long and secretive history, connecting their modern American operations to their ancient European origins. And that concludes this deep dive into the world of Wanted. From the adrenaline-fueled action to the unique visual style and the surprising twist of the plot, the film holds up as a truly satisfying action flick. It's a fantastic example of a movie that doesn't take itself too seriously, while still delivering an incredibly fun ride. So if you enjoyed this look back at one of the 2000's forgotten gems and want to see more fun facts videos into your favorite movies, be sure to give this one a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more content just like this. Until next time, thanks for watching, stay sharp, and we'll see you in the next video.